What's up, everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 496. And if there's one thing that you know about Luffy, is you don't tell him not to do something because he's gonna do it. So when they finally make it to the archipelago, what Sabaody? I'm saying that wrong. I'm gonna have to look up the pronunciation for it. But you got all these bubbles coming out, and Hachi basically warns him. He says, "Look. Remember this branch that you're on. Number 41. Everything connects. You have all these mangroves that are coming through. The bubbles are coming out when the roots are breathing. That's when these bubbles are formed. But if you meet the... Make sure I got this right. He said, if you meet the world nobles, okay, and I don't know if that's a Vizism, so if they aren't called world nobles, let me know down in the comment section. I know Viz likes to change stuff, but he says if you meet them, even if they kill someone in front of you, pretend like you saw nothing. And any normal person would say, sure, you know, I'm going to like a new country, new whatever, different culture. Fine. Luffy, you can just picture him saying something right then and there. And that's what's really scary, is the fact that you know that this is what's going to end up happening, is Luffy's going to meet one of these nobles, not really recognize it, and then he's going to mess around and probably one-shot one of these dudes. And that's going to be really key, because Luffy's at this point now where he's getting ready to enter into the new world. They have to go to Fishman Island because of the way that the red line is broken down. And what's really cool about it is Skypiea is 30,000 feet in the air. Fishman Island is 30,000 feet at the bottom. And that's the only way to go under the red line through that small hole, is to go through there, because the other way is the safe way, and it's to ask the world government for passage. And you know the Straw Hat's not getting passage. So that's telling, the fact that this is literally the only way for them to go. And it makes you wonder, what kind of people are they going to encounter at Fishman Island? Because this is like the really interesting part. Because if you go back to when Luffy and the others first got to Reverse Mountain and they were doing that whole thing, that's when they first got introduced to Baroque Works. Like, that was key. That was the start of the Grand Line adventure. And now you have Fishman Island, so I'm guessing they're going to meet someone there who is going to kind of serve as that parallel for that. And what's really key is the fact that you actually see how Duval gets kicked so hard in the face that Sanji restructures him. He basically does plastic surgery on his face with one kick. And he literally kicks the ugly out of him. Like... I had doubts before. I said maybe Oda is just kind of trolling. No, he was speaking about vanity. Like, Oda just went all the way for it. You know where he stands on the whole vanity thing. And right away, you know, Duval's just like, hey, after doing the whole flirting thing with Nami, like, it's like, kiss you blew at me, baby. It's just like, dumbass, I was just wiping the sauce from my mouth. That sounds so dirty. That sounds so dirty. But Nami was like, I'm just wiping the sauce from my mouth, okay? And you got Duval, he's winking, can't really wink, and it's just like, you know, this dude is gonna go from terrorizing people to probably trying to be a ladies' man. It's gonna be really funny. I would love to just see cover pages just on him. But one of the things he does is he gives Luffy and the Straw Hats his transponder spell number, and he says, like, hey, if you ever need anything, I'm not completely useless. Don't hesitate to call. And it's one of those cool things where you're actually seeing Luffy kind of build up a little bit of a relationship with different people as he progresses deeper into the Grand Line. So he is forming alliances. So that's gonna be very key. But I do think it's interesting, the fact that Luffy and the others, even though the heat is on them, they're still progressing. Again, I'm of the train of thought they do need to take some time off in order to kind of let the heat kind of fall off of them. But they're just marching forward through. And it's totally a Luffy-like thing to do. I was really expecting to see something where Luffy and the others kind of chill out for a little bit. Probably train to get stronger. And then they kind of go back into the Grand Line after, you know, some heat gets off of them, but Oda's just having them go full steam ahead. And I do like this. I do like the beginning of this chapter more so than like the ending. Usually when it gets these world building chapters, I love those better than the action chapters and the comedy things. And this was a little bit of slice of life because you see Luffy and the Straw Hats are just eating and they're yucking it up. But at the same time, Oda kind of hit a nerve with me. You know, you got Nami, she's eating. It's like, oh my god, Nami's eating. Here we go. He's going to be talking about Nami. It's not one of those things, okay? You got Nami, she's eating, and she's giving Hachi the evil eye, okay? And if you've ever been in trouble with any woman, don't have to be a girlfriend or anything. If you've ever been in trouble with any woman, you know that look I'm talking about. And sure enough, she's just like, hey, don't think this is going to make me forgive you. And she's got every right to feel like that. I mean, even if Hachi did stuff behind Arlong's back to try and make her life a little easier, he was still part of that crew. That's still one of the darkest periods, if not the darkest period in Nami's life. And it's over a prolonged period, years. She's not going to forgive him. Even if it's been like a full year and a half since Arlong Park, wounds like that don't heal over time. And yet, one of the things that you see is after she says, like, the food's delicious, you see Nami flat out ask Hachi, like, hey, like, what were your plans? Like, what were you trying to say earlier? And maybe you could say she was just gathering information, but it's telling that she was smiling when she did it, and she is looking like she's making an effort to say, well, he isn't as bad as I thought he was. So it does show time heals wounds, but this is probably a one-time thing. So I thought that was pretty cool, the fact that Oda did have that much of a grasp on how people work. Now, another thing I thought was pretty cool is this actually reminded me of something that my mom would actually do. Sanji's eating, and one of the things he says while everybody else is complimenting the food, Sanji's just like, hey, how'd you make this sauce? What did you put in it? And I was totally expecting Sanji to just start throwing out different ingredients to try and figure out what's in the sauce. And that just shows the passion for cooking and that love for it, man. And that's really cool, the fact that we see the different Straw Hats with their personality quirks coming out. Like Luffy is the glutton. You see Chopper and Usopp kind of cracking fun at Zoro because they say, well, this one's probably going to get lost. He might need to write several sticky notes and keep the cell phone with the GPS. And Zoro's just like, hey, don't be talking about me like that. I'm not going to get lost. It's like, dude, you get lost. Like, I saw a picture, it's a meme, right? I think I've tweeted this out before, where Zoro is running through all the different animes and somehow he ends up on the Pokemon Go screen. Like, Zoro, he's just getting lost, man. You know that's going to happen. So, the other thing that was pretty cool is the fact that you see Nico Robin when she's on the island, she's asking all these different questions and she's examining the, I guess Sabaody isn't really or Bodhi isn't really a island, it's archipelagos. It's just like a small collection of small islands, and it doesn't have enough of a magnetic force to reset the log poles. But she's examining the ground and she's just, yuck, it's sticking. She wipes it off on Usopp. Like, Usopp takes an L. It's been a while since he's took one, so I thought that was pretty cool. But my chapter question to you guys is going to be, what do you think it would take for Nami to forgive Hachi? And then the second question I have is, if you were Luffy and the Straw Hats, what direction would you take? Would you give up, or would you continue going towards Fishman Island? Because it seems like a lot of work, man. It seems like a lot of work. You got to get your ship coded just the right way. If things go wrong, your crew gets pressured. I don't know. For me, I'm okay with taking chances. That might be one where I hit the pause button, though. But that's just me. But as always, guys, if you feel like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.